Hi, Leather Rokk here, and today, in order of Pride Month, I'm going to show you a rainbow eyeshadow look that I got. This is not a subtle look, and it doesn't come with eyeliner, and I'm using one of my favorite makeup palettes right now. It's from B&H Cosmetics. It's the first edition 120 color palette eyeshadow. There are actually 6 different editions of these, and this one they sell as the brightest one. And actually most of the shades in this are matte, and that seemed like the best palette to use for this. Even though it might not seem like the most portable one with 2 trays, it really is, and I have taken these on the road with me. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is tie my hair up, and I want to do it carefully without hurting my earrings. But you know what, I want to take the earrings out. And by the way, do you like these earrings? I got these at Claire's, and I heard that they're going to be going out of business, and if that's true, that's really a shame, because I really like some of the things that they sell. So tie my hair back, and then I've gotten out my trusty coconut oil that I really enjoy. And I also got, adjust the thing, I also got some aloe vera, because the way my eyes have been runny and stuff, salt water, which is what dry tears are, is very corrosive, and my eyelids are still peeling and irritated. So having something like aloe vera really helps as far as the irritation caused by all that salt. The salt also is an exfoliant. While that's usually a good thing, when salt dries on your eyelids, it really can make them cracked and red and sore, as I can attest to. And that can sometimes make the makeup removal process a little bit on the uncomfortable side, because you're scraping at already sore, possibly abraded skin. But you can't not take your makeup off. Okay, taking this side off. I really love how coconut oil feels, and it's really nice having a makeup remover that doesn't make the eyes burn. So many times when I'm washing my face, I'll get soap or something in my eyes, and nobody enjoys that. And the thing is, did you know that if you used a baby shampoo, and baby shampoos, by the way, have some of the highest pH of the shampoos, but the reason why babies don't cry with baby shampoos is because one of the ingredients is an anesthetic that keeps them from feeling the eyes being burned. So it doesn't mean that you're not irritating your eyes, it just means there's an anesthetic that keeps you from feeling it. So, just something I learned from beauty school. You know, one of these kind of useless tidbits of information that maybe might come in handy in a trivia contest or game or something. I don't know. Don't you wish, though, that they would ask the questions that you know more often? Okay. You know, I hate it when not the eye that you want to remove your makeup on, but the other eye feels like it has something, and I really don't want to disturb this. Okay. Oh, a little bit more to go. I really don't want to disturb my eyebrow makeup. I did something a little bit different with the eyebrows this time. I used a lip gloss to go over my eyebrows, and then to darken it, I just added an eyeshadow with an eyebrow brush. So my eyebrows are just a little bit different than they usually are. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to have to replicate them also. Alright. What I did was I went over eyebrow shape with a more or less clear gloss. This is in the purple family, obviously. But then I went over it with, believe it or not, a dark purple eyeshadow from the Wild and Alluring, well, no, excuse me, the Wild Child palette. Now, something tells me that I got rid of that eyebrow brush. So I'm just going to stick my finger in this, and all I'm going to do is tap over my eyebrows where they're already sticky with the eyeshadow. You know what? I'm going to go over on the other side too, just to make sure that they match. Yeah. Okay. Now, I was going to use my Ben Nye white cream makeup base, but I decided not to. I decided I'm going to use the Max Factor first coat. It goes on almost white. It is, they call it an eye primer. It just gives a nice opaque, moist surface for your eyeshadow to adhere to. But, excuse me, since my eyes are irritated, I'm going to add a layer of aloe vera gel first. If you can get the plant, that's really better. But if you can't grow aloe never grew on my windowsill. You just pat it on. Now, there's not going to be enough time for it to dry before we're doing this, so let's give it a couple seconds. And then what I'm going to do, see, I would really prefer it to dry, but actually when aloe vera dries, it really dries kind of only slightly tacky. It really sinks in, but you want some tackiness for the eyeshadow. So I'm just tapping this Max Factor first coat on top of and blending with the aloe vera. Give it a little more of this. Okay, now we're going to start with the colors. I'm going to take one of these 99-cent store eyeshadow brushes from a company called Vivace, V-I-V-A-C-E, and I'm tapping this into this eyeshadow right here, a nice bright, opaque, matte yellow, and I'm only touching it into the corner, and I'm wiggling it around. Now I'm wiggling it to make sure that it touches a little bit of down here too. It saves you trouble later. It saves you a step. Sorry about that. You know, I better bring the wastebasket here. Sorry about that. My sinuses are just killing me this week. Okay, I want to try to make both sides as opaque as possible. And now, you know what? It looks like a little bit rubbed off on this corner. So I'm just replacing it. Now, for orange, because what I'm doing with this is I'm starting on from the inner corner, and I'm actually going this way before I go this way. So orange is the next color we need. So I have another one of those. Now this is actually an e.l.f. C brush. If I hold it this way, you could see the logo. Or maybe you can't. Well, trust me. And I'm digging into this orange right here. It's really, only just a tap is all you need. I really like the color payoff on these. Now I'm going in a C shape like this. Okay. And I'm taking a brush that I got from the dollar store from Vivace. And now, oh, excuse me, I'm wrong. This is another e.l.f. brush. This says it's a professional eye crease brush. Now look at the shape of this. This can also be used for cream eyeliner, but this, I'm digging into a red shade. If I go in the second tray here, you see there's a really fantastic matte red right here. And I'm just going to touch, a little touch is all you need. And I'm going to go on the side of the red. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the other side. Okay. There's so many great greens in this palette, aren't there? And for this, I am, let's see, which one did I use? I use this one here. Now you don't need to use mattes. You can use frosts, but what I like about these matte shadows is they really last a long time. Unless, of course, you get your eyes get watery, then you may have a problem. Now for this, if it's not sticking to your eye, well, you might want to wiggle it some. And I'm going slightly on the diagonal. Want to make sure that the eyes match. Okay. Now next one is the blue, and for that I did choose a shimmer. There is a really nice shade in here, and I really like that. It reminds me of the trick paint jobs on some sports cars, and I really like sports cars. Now for this, I'm not blending these. This is not a subtle look. I usually find subtlety to be boring as all get out. Okay, I just want to make sure these. And you see, by not having eyeliner, it doesn't cover up the eyeshadow, and I really want this eyeshadow to be obvious. Okay, now for the purple on the outer corners, let's see if this is, I think this also may have been an e.l.f. brush. And the purple that I am using is from this tray here. I'm using this color here. And I'm making it into a triangle. I want to try to make sure that I get the same angle on this side as I got on that side. Sometimes you can use tape. I prefer to do it by eye. I mean, because really I had never even thought to use tape until this year, and I figure I've been getting along with it without using a guideline all these years. I shouldn't have to start now. I mean, sometimes I do if I think about it, but usually I don't think about it. And if I'm getting ready to go someplace, I've got an event to go to or something, I'm probably not thinking about that, because there's so many other things to think about, like, am I going to make sure that I have everything I need in my purse? Do I have my earplugs? Do I have a couple extra ink pens? You know, things like that that are infinitely more important than if I remember tape to keep my eyeshadow wings matching. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to go back over with my other eyeshadow applicators and just kind of get them sort of kind of even. Flatten this out kind of. I'm not using a separate highlight color. One of the nice things about using a primer like this is it actually, if it's close enough to your own skin color, it makes your own skin color act like a primer. Now for the under part, the underneath, I am using this NYC eyeshadow stick. It's supposed to be 24-hour waterproof. I am trying to find ways to make this work. I did a video about this. I'm really mad at myself. I did a video about this, and I believe I called it NYX, NYX, which is a totally different company. This is NYC, as in New York City, and I don't really know how to edit, so there's no way for me to go back into that video and correct every time I said NYX and say NYC. However, in the show notes, in the description, in all the metadata, I did give the correct name. So I'm going to have to, I don't know how I'm going to correct this, if I'm going to have to just do a separate video and explain that, because I believe, in a way, I kind of believe I should, because I don't want to trash a product unnecessarily. See, that's where being able to edit would come in handy, really would. But you got to understand that when you see these real slick productions that some of the YouTubers do, that they may look very, very well, they may look cinematic, the sound may be perfect, it may have all these special effects. Think of all the editing and work that goes into those. And most likely they had help. I'm not saying there aren't some YouTubers that don't have skills. They're not, maybe they're techies, maybe they are really good at editing and stuff, but a lot of them have help. And usually to get help you got to pay somebody, and I'm not paying anybody, okay? So for now, this is as good as it gets. Alright, now just like when I did the original review of this, this is not covering up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with purple eyeshadow that I already used, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it back into that eyeshadow, and then that part of the eye that did not cover. Now you see it's not exactly a perfect shade, but it's close enough of a match. Okay, then to complete the rainbow motif, I'm going to go back to the blue shadow, and I'm going to make a dot right next to this purple here. It should go with a dot that should be right here. Okay, then I'm going to go to the green eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to find that green that I used, and I'm going to dip into it, and I'm going to make a dot right next to the blue, which is right next to here. And since I already took my went out of my way to make sure that the yellow that I did in the corner touched there, so that way you have the rainbow carry all the way around. Now, I did tell you no eyeliner. I just used a mascara, and instead of using the usual black mascara, I'm using a purple mascara from NYX, NYX. Now this is not going to show up extremely, but it will a little bit. And if you happen to be outside during the daytime, like if you were at a Pride celebration, then when the light catches your mascara, your lashes, that will show up. And some of these, by the way, if you hit the clubs later, some of these shadows might be blacklight reflective. I noticed that is sometimes the case with some matte shadows. It depends on the formulation. And of course, you can buy some eyeshadows that specifically market themselves as being UV reactive. I've had fun with those too. So this, and I'm not going to bother with the lower lashes, because if you do, they're not going to show up anyhow. I mean, maybe they would if you had really, 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 really naturally long lashes, or if you had lash extensions or something, but I don't, and I'm not going to assume you do. Now, this is what I used. I did not use a contour for blush. I actually used the center color in this Wild Child palette. Okay, for the highlight, I used this brush, which is a Vivace Vase brush from the 99-cent store. I used this and the white color from the B&H Cosmetics Black Light Highlight palette. I just put it here and here. Let me see. I hope I didn't take any foundation off when I did that. You know what? Just in case I did, I want to check. This is the foundation I used. Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the 102 Porcelain, which you know about if you saw my latest video about the foundation companies that actually make colors for the very, very, very light skinned among us. You know, because not all of them do. Okay, this is just to make sure. Because it does rub off somewhat. Alright. Now, I'm going to take my hair down. Alrighty. Now, I am ready to go out clubbing. Even though as I'm recording this, it's 4:17 in the morning, and I think at least a good part of the clubs around here are already closed, so too late for me, I'm afraid. Alright. What do you think? This is a really easy Pride look using the B&H Cosmetics 120 color palette, first edition. There are lots of little palettes that you could use for this, but this palette is really fun for when you want to use 6 different colored eyeshadows, and I highly recommend it. And with a nice big mirror, it's very portable. You can even there's even room to put your brushes inside. So if you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up. I would love to have you subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you know when I make my next upload, because I upload 3 times a week, and I would love to have you join my family. So until then, talk to you soon. Bye.